know. Thank you for being here, and thank
Of
you
course,
for giving me the opportunity to showcase your talent on Lively Fridays. I
of
know
course.
you're a busy man, you know what I mean, getting grind out there in LA. But I know where you're from and I know where you're born. So for the viewers, please, share your story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, my name is Ezekiel JB. I'm Nigerian American. My parents are both from Nigeria. They moved to the United States and had me in Texas. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and now I live in Los Angeles, California. So I'm an actor, model, producer, content creator, um, dancer. I dabble in music a little bit, but yeah, I do a little bit of everything. So yeah, happy to be here.
So so when you decided you want to become an actor?
Yeah, so acting is it's been something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. Um, Specifically, I remember like because I grew up watching like Eddie Murphy and like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith and stuff like that. But when I was a kid, watching them, I always assumed you had to be a grown up to be on TV. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at other black people on TV. I'm like, dang, you have to be an adult. You have to be a grown up. So it wasn't until I want to say like '90s, Nick, early 2000s. There's a show called All That, and there was a show called Keenan and Kel. So it wasn't until I saw Keenan and Kel, well, I was like, dang, well, they look like kids, like they're young and they're on TV. Well, they can do it, I can do it. So in my head, that's where it planted the seed that, like that I can really do this. So from that moment on, I think I was like 7. From that moment on, I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. I want to be an actor. Because now I know you don't have to be an adult to do it.
So is that the main reason why you moved to LA to pursue your dream?
Yeah, yeah. So the main reason I moved to LA was to further the opportunities because prior to being in LA, I was actually in Atlanta. Now in Atlanta, there's a lot of studios out there. Like Marvel built a studio. Everybody knows Tyler Perry has a
Tyler
studio.
Perry, yes.
Yeah, they got his studios out there. And there's a lot of other studios that people don't really know about, but they're there filming as well. But in Atlanta, my experience, like it was a great experience, but at the same time, I was just hearing a lot of different things from higher ups, and they were telling me like Ezekiel, the trajectory that you're on, and the level that you're saying you want to reach, you cannot stay here in Atlanta. You need to go to LA because when you go to LA, you'll meet and connect with those people that you need to meet and connect with that will actually get you to where you're trying to get to.
So what it's like living in LA as a young upcoming actor?
Yeah, it's interesting, you know. There's good days, there's rough days, there's regular days, and there's boring days. You know, I mean, it's kind of just like any other thing in life. To be honest with you, you know, um, to me it seems regular because this is my life. But there are some times where you know you kind of it's super busy and I'm like, dang, bro, like this is a lot. I just need a break. So like, you know, I want to take a vacation, but you can't take a vacation because you're on like this schedule. And then like whenever you do have the time, all you really want to do is kind of like just sleep or relax. You know, you don't want to do anything because you've been working so hard. At least in my experience, I've been just working so hard. It's like, dang, when I do have free time, I don't want to do nothing else but just relax and just unwind, sleep, maybe hop on the video game sometimes, you know.
So are you taking any training or acting class? How to what's that? How you improving your skill? Are you taking any
Yeah,
classes or go to
yeah.
school, acting school?
So currently I'm not in any classes, and I think it's solely because I'm working consistently. Whether I'm working with some producer friends of mine or working on an audition, because I audition constantly. Like I literally have to go to one right after this interview. But like to me, because I'm constantly in the craft and in my craft, it's like I'm always practicing. I'm always rehearsing, essentially, especially when I'm on set. Like when I'm on set, I was actually on set last night, and that in and of itself was another basic. It was like class, but live. You know, like they'll coach you and then they'll direct you how they want things to go and how they want things to play out. But for me, like it's I don't know. It all just works. It just all works itself around each other, you know. So I haven't really been in a class since I want to say since like 2019. Like I've just been either
Wow.
on set or just doing a bunch of auditions and just practicing that way with a private coach.
So speak of audition, like what is it, what's like to go from auditions to auditions and you might get some of the role and some of the role you might not get a call back. How do you deal with that from
Yeah,
auditions to audition?
yeah. So me personally, I'm kind of sort of on a break now, but in the past, I would have anywhere from like 8 to 12 auditions a week,
Wow.
and a lot of them will be due on a specific day. So like, a lot of people don't know, but like with most of these auditions, like they'll like sometimes they'll give it to you. Let's say today's Friday, right? Let's say sometimes they'll give it to you Friday and be like, okay, this is due Monday morning, which is it's good ample time because you have the weekend to do it. But sometimes they give it to you on like a Monday and be like, hey, this is due tomorrow, and it'd be like
Okay.
5 pages of stuff that you have to memorize. So like imagine that kind of pressure, but you have 12 of them, right? So you have 12 of these auditions due on specific days of the week at a specific time. So I'm over here trying to memorize every single one, and I'm realizing I don't have time to memorize every single one. It's really it can get really stressful. But like for me personally, like with the question you asked about, how I deal with it with rejection and everything like that. I think because there's so many. Like after I do one, I just kind of throw it out my mind. I'm like, okay, now the next one. After I do the next one, throw that out of my mind, and it's like I'm not even really thinking about, oh, are they gonna pick me or oh, are they gonna choose me because there's so many
Yeah.
coming in. I'm thinking one of these essentially should land at one point, you know?
So what was your first acting role? Was a lot of people get started out in commercials,
Yeah, yeah.
and what was your first acting role? First acting role. Do you remember your first acting role?
Yeah, yeah. So my very, very, very first acting role ever. Um, I was still living in Texas, and
Okay.
I was working with a director by the name of Fred T. And I remember going into one of his auditions for a project called Meeting the Family or Meeting the Folks or something like that. Um,
Okay.
and he specifically told me, yo, we love your audition, but we don't have any roles for you on this project. You're really
Okay.
good, but what I'm going to tell you is that I do have a list of other projects that you may be able to fit. And so, like after Meeting the Family passed, I didn't really have a role on that one, but I was just kind of like in the background. He told me, "Hey, I have this project that you really fit. I want you to, be a part of this if you're interested." And now he was able to give me my first opportunity to actually act and showcase. This was like back in 20. I want to say like 2015, like early 2015, late 2014, something like that.
Your first acting role came.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Long time of like independent film, like super low budget. Like, yeah.
but that's where it started, and that's where you
Yeah.
find like, oh, I can do this. The even though you know that you wanted to do that long time, like your first
Uh-huh.
acting role, what does it open for you spiritually and passion and the emotions? Like how you felt when you got your first acting role?
Yeah, when I got my first one, I'm like, dang, like, is this what it's like to be on set? Like, this is cool. Okay, I see the camera guy over there, or the lighting guys over there, the sound. Okay, man, this is interesting, man. I've never done it. I was trying to like calm myself down because I didn't want to, freak out and mess up and be nervous. But I was soaking it in. Honestly, it was cool. It was really cool.
Great, great.
Yeah.
I see you got the talent. Well, are we get into some of your short films that I'm promoting? I really see that you're really into it. But before we get into that, what are your biggest influences in the movie industry? Like what kind of artists that you look up to? Like you said, okay, I like that. I can take something from that artist. I can take something from this actress. So, what
Yeah.
are your influences? Who are
Okay.
your
Yeah.
influences?
So I don't have one specifically, because in the past, I couldn't always afford taking acting classes. So what I used to have to do was just watch movies and watch shows that I really like. So I used to watch people like Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp, Denzel, Chris Tucker, like just all these people, and I used to just watch them and just really study how they are and study how they act with specific characters. and I wouldn't necessarily copy them. Like some of them I can like mimic, but like I wouldn't necessarily copy them. I'll just like take little pieces, bits and pieces of things I see them do in their characters. I'm like, yo, okay, that's really good. I'm gonna take that, but I'm gonna make it me. I'm gonna make it my own thing, you know. So I was kind of, it's almost like learning in class, basically, just but I'm watching them on screen.
So, so what is it about them that attracts you? Is it their character? Is it their character on screen, or just on a daily life, or you know, their professional life? What is it that draws you to these actors? Make you say, okay, I think if I take some, just like what you say, you take something from this one, and you say, okay, I'm gonna make it my own. So,
Yeah,
what is it on screen that makes you say, what is it you see in them that you really want to be like, not say be like, but to reach that level of acting?
yeah, and I honestly, I mean, you kind of just said it at the end. Like they're at a specific level that I want to be at myself. So I'm like, okay, well, if they're at this level, then let me see what they're doing in their performances to stay at that level. You know, so I'm literally just taking bits and pieces solely from the fact that they're at the level that I'm trying to get to.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
So okay, now that we know that, so I'm saying like I've promote two of your short films this week.
yeah,
The one where you were talking to the parents of the girl that you want to take out, right?
yeah,
And you
yeah,
said
yeah,
some,
yeah.
and you know, I understand the whole film. You know, me being here in Europe as a African American or an African diaspora or what you want to call it, right?
Yeah,
Where I've been through it, I've
yeah,
been through it. Where you know what I mean, and I
yeah.
see, and I really it resonate with me because I
Uh-huh.
know I've been through what you are going through, and your on-screen emotions, your presence, bro. I'm telling you, I feel it. I feel feel what you were saying to the
I
lady
appreciate
at the door, and when
it.
the guy is telling you that you might take away his scholarship, and you know that's true. That's what goes in society even
Yeah,
today. And I want to ask you, how do you bring that emotion out? Because I see it in your face, like, bro, you live in it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, man. So for me, it's different
Wait, let
for
me rephrase. I sorry to cut you off.
yeah.
Did
Go
you
ahead.
go through anything like that as an African American? Because you know how it is in
Yeah,
America, being an African American. So, yes. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So I've had similar experiences with a lot of the characters that I do play, uh, but what I've noticed is that every character specifically, I do something different to tap in with that character. For example, recently I just finished a film a couple weeks ago. Um, Called like Karen Binkle. It's within an anthology series of films. One of them is called Karen Binkle. That was when I was in. So in Karen Binkle, it's about the Karen situation. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Karens and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
United States. Yeah. So basically, in the film, not to say too much about it, but you know, it's typical, you know, white lady saying I did something that I did not do. Police get involved, and then I get arrested, and I'm in jail. So in that film specifically, what I did to tap in with those emotional issues and stuff that was going on about the Karen situation when I was getting arrested. My mom's calling me. Sorry. When I was getting
Uh,
arrested, I'm over here thinking, okay, I'm getting arrested for something I did not do, right? Right now, in this moment, I'm channeling all the little black boys, all the black men that also got arrested for something they did not do. So I'm basically putting all of their stuff in my shoes, and now I'm walking in their shoes, and I'm just feeling what they're feeling in that moment because they didn't do anything, but they're getting arrested for it. So then transferring that into the jail scene, now I'm locked up, right? Now I'm locked up for something I did not do. And so I was taking the fact of the matter that there's so many black boys and black men, you know, whose lives were taken away from them because of something they did not do. How would that make me feel with me being in their shoes? So I was literally taking and channeling all of that energy in that moment to feel those emotions.
uh, You
Yeah,
really captured that, bro. It's like, and then I love the part where you told her like you have no fear. You're not you know what I mean? Like you're ready. Like you stand
yeah,
up. Like you really stand up for yourself. And I think that that's something that a lot of us not doing. Like we need to stand up for ourselves. And you show that
hmm,
on screen. Like no matter what, you're gonna stand up for yourself. You know what I mean? So yes, and the other one that
yeah,
I really like to, the one that you were, I don't know if you were breaking in the car or it's your dad's car. I'm trying to, I keep listening to what you're trying to say,
yeah,
but there's a message in it that I take away from it. You says, fear is not respect.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
really, that's so true. Like a lot of people, like they, they, they have these things like, they think make people fearing them is respect, you know what I mean?
mhm,
And the way that you speak and your emotion and you're showing that is like, if a lot of people like young boys or young men can really watch that short film that you do, I think they can take something from it, because fear is not respect, right? So
yeah,
can you talk a little bit more about that short film that you were doing, and the what's it's
yeah,
about, what's the story
yeah.
about?
So that one was for Crypt TV. I think the title of the film was called Dread. That was on Crypt TV on their YouTube channel. And in that moment that you're talking about specifically, so my brother and that was my little brother in the film,
Oh.
and he's doing amazing things. He was a series reg on Black Lightning. He just got done doing a movie with Tyrese, and I was like on set with him, just being supportive, actor,
Yeah, yeah,
actor
of
friend.
course, of course.
So
Got it.
yeah, he's doing his thing. But
Unity is
anyways,
wealth.
yeah. But anyways, basically in the film, we're born into like this game that my dad runs, that our dad runs, but we're not trying to be in it. Like we're trying to get out of it. So we run away, right? My dad, he was killed. Like somebody killed him. That was, I guess, in the gang or in a rival gang, because of whatever, because of the way he was running things. They didn't like it, so they killed him. And so because we didn't want to get caught up in that, and because we didn't want to be in the gang at all, we were just kind of born into it. We left. So we ran away. We left. And then we were breaking into my father's car. We didn't have the key.
Ah,
We're breaking into my father's car. I had the crowbar, and my brother was talking to me. He was like, "Yo, you know, we should go back and be part of this game. We need to be a part of the records, man." I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about? Like, no, we don't need to be doing that. We gotta." I was basically trying to tell him we gotta do it a different way. Like, you see what happened to Dad. Dad died. Do you think doing all this stuff is gonna get you respect? They killed him. Like, that's not gonna work. So I'm basically telling them, like, we got to get out. Like, this is not gonna work for us. We're
yeah.
just gonna end up just like him.
Powerful message, brother. Powerful message. So my next question for you: what's the toughest part of you, being an actor? Like, what's the toughest part of that? Like, on set, or reciting a screenplay, or going to auditions. How do you manage that personal life and with your acting life? Because I've seen a lot of people take on roles and then it takes them years to come out of it, or probably
Yeah,
months. So how
yeah,
do you deal with that? Like, you have to go into character, and then how long does it take for you to get out of it,
yeah.
or you know what I mean, and get back your normal life, as what we called it?
Right. Um, Alluding to the question you asked before and how I answered that each character that I do there's a different way on how I tap into it. So with some characters, I've noticed whenever I do like the more method route, it's I can get stuck, which is kind of scary because like before getting into this business, um, I remember hearing stories about different people like Jim Carrey or people like of status that are super big who get stuck in their character, right? And I'm like, getting stuck in their character, how are they getting this? And then, but lo and behold, I'm doing the thing, being full method in it because I just really want to live it, and I got stuck, and I was like, yo, this is scary. So then, like after getting stuck, I don't know how I did it, but I was able to pull myself out. and come back into reality. And I think, like I said, it's different for everybody, but I think, you know, having some kind of anchor point, or having some kind of even a tangible object, because that can really work for the individual to help them realize and understand this is not real, can really help you. But me personally, sometimes I do the switch method, which is what I say. I turn the switch on when I need to be in character, and then like after they yell cut, I turn the switch off, right? Um, but if I'm doing method, there's not really a switch because I'm trying to stay in character the entire time. But it's not often where I have to be method to get into some certain characters. Like usually I can just turn the switch on and off. So yeah,
Yeah, and I think it's difficult because maybe you have to shoot a movie for a year or 6 months, and every
yeah,
day you have to be in set. So I think you won't have enough time to get out of character and you know what I mean.
yeah,
So, bro, I wish you all the best. And a lot of people might see it and say, "Oh, these actors are living the life," and there it is. But it's a lot of work to it. You know,
yeah,
me doing the research and reading up on stuff. That's why I could come up with all these questions because I've seen and stories that this week I'm going through. I'm seeing like, you know what I mean, you're gonna need the
mhm,
support. And so for me, I say that to say this is I think it's very important that you have genuine people around you that loves you and
yeah.
support
That's
you,
facts.
right?
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, you got to, you got to. That's a must because man, if you don't, like you can really get sucked into a totally different direction than what you're supposed to go into. Especially if you just have yes people around you all the time, like people who just say yes to everything. Because especially, let me say, because when you're in this business and like you're like the main focus, and they're treating you like a star, a lot of people will not tell you no because like they're like, no, he's the main guy. Like we're not gonna tell him no. You know what I'm saying? So it's like having those people around you, it can sometimes be detrimental to the person in totality. Um, because I honestly believe, you know, having just yes people all the time, they literally will say yes to everything. Like you'll make a dumb decision and you'll be like, yeah, bro, now do your thing, man. Have fun. Have a good time, bro. Just do your thing. It's okay. We'll be on set, you know, in a few hours. Just do it. You know, just yes people. Like instead of having, you know, some genuine, real solid, down to earth people will be like, who tell you
Yeah,
the truth and keep it real and be like, nah, bro, you don't need to be doing that. Like stop. Focus on this. And we can do all this later when we have time to do this. But right now, just no focus, you know, like
yes.
it's important, like you said, it's important, man. You really gotta have
Yeah,
those
I
solid
think
people
so. And
around
the same thing, you know, I'm in the music industry, and it's very important that you have real people around you and people who support you and
you.
carry
Yeah,
you and lift you up. You know what I mean? And show you the
yeah,
real way. As what you say, I don't want to hear yes all the time. I want to
exactly.
like, yo, bro, you mess up. Let's do this right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, my next question for you, and I think as when I rehearse like every day or every other day, right?
Huh?
So when I rehearse, I'm singing to myself, and I'm thinking that there's people on stage, right? That I'm
Huh?
singing to. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm imagining. So how do you prep for a role when you know that okay, the actor is not in front of you to
Hmm.
bring that scene to life?
Yeah.
How do you rehearse for that when the
Yeah.
actor is not in front of you?
Yeah. Usually, you know, this is the same with even my auditions because even with auditions, you know, you're never really gonna have the actual actor that you're acting with in front of you, and sometimes you don't even know who they're gonna cast. So I kind of honestly just go through the script, know what the story's about, and then just memorize my parts and just either practice with the air. Like a lot of times we're practicing with the air, like imagining that somebody's there when nobody's there at all, or I get a friend to just read with me back and forth
Oh,
the lines so that way, you know, it makes sense in my head and I can hear how it sounds and stuff like that.
oh, that's good. All
Yeah.
right, you know, every entertainment industry, whatever it's movie or artist or you know what I mean.
Hmm.
How do you stay in front of everyone else, especially when you're going on audition? Like
Yeah.
you have to. How do you stay ahead and knowing that okay, what's your hedge? What's your hedge?
Yeah. For me, honestly, like I'm not even looking at anybody else. You know, I'm going in there knowing that I'm here for a reason. You know, you guys called me here to do a job or to execute something, and that's what I'm gonna do. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. You know, point blank, period. Like I don't. I've surpassed the point of caring about what other people think, and you know, worrying about what other people are thinking, because I'm living in my truth. You know, when you're living in your truth and you're just being unapologetically yourself, it's like that's who I am. You know, you either accept it or you reject it, or you just leave it alone. You know, so I don't pay attention to none of that. I'm just focused, laser focused, and just doing my job and getting out of there.
So, one more question. Well said. What are the pros and cons as a young actor coming up and pushing down the doors and trying to get into this industry?
Yeah. Pros, a lot of people will encourage you to keep going, especially if you know they're on the same trajectory, similar to you, like how you know you found out about me, and like now we're doing an interview, and you're just trying to learn more. You know, I have other peers who are like, yo, cheering me on and hoping that you know I make it. You know, those are the pros. Like you have genuine supporters, right? Um, and it's a fun journey. But the cons on the other side is there's a lot of politics, like
Everything.
lot, a lot of politics. So you know it kind of sucks because at the end of the day, it's all about who you know, who knows you, and you would think that you know a person, but for whatever reason, you still don't get in the door, whether you know. Or not. You know, so much politics goes into it, like it's crazy. Um, So yeah, a lot of people think they would think, yo, you've been doing this for how many years? And you're not here. Like it's different. Like if you don't know unless you're on the inside, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a lot. That's the cons, you never really know when your next job will come. Um, so like I like to really try to stay grounded and stay positive because sometimes that'll eat away at your mind. You know, when you haven't worked for like 5 months or you haven't worked for 6 months. Like yeah, I have all this time freedom, but I haven't been on a studio set or a network set in an X amount of months. You know what I mean? Like so, it's like you really just gotta keep going and be strong and know that this is what you're supposed to be doing because and it's in those gaps of times is when a lot of thoughts will creep in and tell you, oh, you should be doing something else, or oh, you should not be, this isn't for you. Like all those doubts and negative thoughts will creep in and try to take over to make you quit. But you just got to remember why you started doing it in the first place in order to keep going. You know, as long as your reason why is strong enough, you'll be good.
Okay. Which famous actor or actress you would love to share the big screen with?
Love to
Whatever
share
role,
with.
whatever role you're given.
Oh man, there's a lot of them, man. I have a whole list,
Okay,
but
give me three of each. Three
give me
female actresses and three male actors.
three female, three male. Okay, let's do the ladies first. Ladies,
Ladies first,
hope you're
always.
listening, okay? Because I want to work with you. All right. So first and foremost, Zoe Zaldana. I want to work with Zoe. She's dope. Seen her work. She's
Who
killing
is
it.
her? I don't know her.
Zoe Zaldana. So she played the Green Girl in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh
Also
yes.
in Avatar, she was the one in Avatar. She played I think Natari or I can't remember the name, but yeah, she was in Avatar as well. She's been in a lot of stuff. So Zoe Saldana's one. Um, I want to work with Nesta Cooper. A lot of people don't know who she is. She's like really underrated, but she's a Canadian actress. She's in the show The Travelers and also in the movie on Netflix called Reality High. She plays like the nerdy girl who then gets the popular boyfriend or whatever. I want to work with Nesta. She's really solid. And lastly, who do I want to work with? Lastly, uh, Viola. I would say Viola
Viola.
Davis. Yeah, I actually
Yep.
met Viola on
Oh.
the set of. I was working. What was it? It was like a Jimmy Kimmel special, and he brought me in along with like maybe like five other people. It was a very small amount of like background they used, but we weren't necessarily background because everybody you could see us. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
could recognize who you were. But Viola it was a lot of people on that set, especially the last day because it was around the holidays too. That was probably like one of the last filming things that they were doing out here
I
before the
like her.
holidays.
I
Yeah, so
like her.
Viola, she's really cool. She's
Yeah.
really genuine, down to earth, very serious, stern woman. Very serious, stern woman. But yeah, it was a lot of people on that set. I met a lot of people, and even just the rehearsals. Like I was able to watch their rehearsals and see, you know, just the level that they were on. Like Viola, watching her rehearse was a whole nother level. Like she didn't have the script in her hand or nothing. Like all the other actors and actresses, they all had their scripts and were like trying to like get. But Viola was ready. I was like, yo, that's crazy. I don't know how long y'all been rehearsing, but she's on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
And
it
the
was
top
lit.
three male actors
Uh,
that you would love
top
to work
three,
with on the
top
big
three
screen?
male. Yeah, I would say top three male. I want to work with Will
Oh,
Smith.
for sure. I'm not.
Yeah, he's dope. He's dope. I was actually at a private screening event of his last week, which was pretty cool. And they did a Q&A. The audience got to ask me questions and stuff about the film. Um, and who else? Denzel, of course. You know Denzel. Yeah, and I
Man,
also
you're going big. You're
yeah,
going big.
and I also want
That's
to
it.
work with Martin. You know, I want to work with
Martin
Martin.
Lawrence.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's a cool cat, man. He's a cool
Yo,
cat.
those
He's getting
those are
old.
three tycoon names, legend
Yeah,
names you want to work with, right?
yeah,
You can do it.
he's getting old, but I want to work with him. And it's a lot of males. I have more males on the list than I have females. Like
What's
Leo,
your dream role?
Eddie. My dream role.
Yes.
I used to want to be on Avatar, but I heard that they already filmed all of them already. Like, or they're in the process of filming. Like, they finished 2. Now they're already moving to 3 and 4. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I wanted to be on Avatar so bad.
That's your
But
dream role to be an actor on the Avatar?
on Avatar, yeah, I wanted to be on Avatar, but like I said, I feel like they're already done casting who they needed to cast. Because I looked up the information on the IMDb Pro, and they already said like they already have all the way to Avatar like 5 or something like that. Who's in it? Who they want? And
Your top five movie.
top 5 movies.
Yeah.
Okay, top 5, no specific order.
No specific order.
Avatar, Ready Player One, Free Guy, Coming to America, and Coco.
Coco.
Yeah,
Oh, Coco is what? I don't know
that's
that one.
that's the I think it's Pixar. I see the pic. I think it's Pixar.
Oh yes, Coco. It's the it's something with the what you call it? I think I heard about that movie.
Yeah, it's the one about the kid. It's like an animation movie. It's about the kid who plays guitar. Um, he doesn't know who his real grandfather is or so. Oh, it's Disney. It's a Disney. We got somebody Disney in the comments. It's Disney. Coco's Disney. But yeah, it's about Dios de los Muertos. You know, the Day of the Dead in the
Yes,
Spanish
I heard.
tradition.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know that
yeah,
one. Yeah.
Coco. It's dope. And I like that movie because a lot of Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, she typing it in the bottom right there. I love that movie because a lot of the messages in there, like it was a lot of experiences he was going through with his family and how he wanted to do what he wanted to do with music. It was a lot of the same things I went through with my family when I was, you know, trying to get into acting. So like I really
Okay.
resonated with it heavy. Yeah.
So what? Okay, what's next for Ezekiel? 5 years from now
5 years.
in the acting world. Are we
Five
gonna see
years.
you break out to be one of the biggest stars?
I mean, it's possible. It's highly. I wouldn't doubt it. You know, it's as long as the politics ain't getting in the way, I'm gonna be there. But yeah, I mean, 5 years. You know, I can really see myself like just killing it in the scene. You know, like I'm here. Like I'm literally almost in everything, and people getting mad at the fact that I'm always in everything. You know, uh, but yeah, I can really see that happening for myself.
And what does it take for you to get that in 5 years?
What does it take?
Yeah, what it takes.
Takes a lot. For one, connections. Two, somebody even wanting you to come through that door that's semi cracked. you know, it's not even fully open. At least in the experience that I've been having in my last almost 3 years here, it's like they see you, they know who you are, they know what you can do, but they're thinking, I don't know if I want to bring him in yet. Let's go with this guy. Literally. That's been my experience. But I mean, it takes, you know, it just takes somebody actually believing in you and thinking that you can do it and taking a risk. And I was actually having this conversation, not to segue, but I was actually having the same conversation with one of my peers about how back in the day, you know, back in like the 80s and 90s, you know, Beverly Hills Cop era, you know, just all the grand movies, all Coming to America era, like just that era of movie making, they actually took the time to find the perfect fit for the role, right? Fast forward to now, 2021, now they have deadlines. They have like 1 week, 2 week deadlines to cast specific characters. So now what they're doing is they're literally picking all these influencers, people who have like 1 million followers, 2 million followers, 3 million followers, TikTok famous people, or Instagram famous people, or YouTube famous people. Like they're just pulling these people. Not all of them, I wouldn't say not all of them have no talent or no acting experience, because there's some of them who are actually really good. Like Woody McClain. Woody McClain is dope. He's a dope actor. He was in the Bobby Brown movie, as well as The Harder They Fall on Netflix. Like he played one of the characters in the beginning of the Red Hood Crimson Gang. Woody McClain, he's dope. I met him as well. But there's a lot of them that are not. They're not talented. Like the talent aspect has been taken out of the casting process. They're just casting people who have numbers, because in their minds they're thinking, oh, okay, if he has 2 million followers, that's potentially 2 million pairs of eyes that will generate income for us if we put our money behind it. And yeah, let's just go with him versus, you know, a guy like me who's not in the millions yet, but has all the talent in the world and can actually bring the role to life, you know, versus the guy who's doing mediocre work. I can go all day about this. It's like the times have
I
changed.
know it's the same thing with the music industry now, where a guy might probably freestyling on TikTok or something, and you know some record company might just pick him out and say, "Yeah, we're gonna use it because he got numbers and followers." But I'm one of
Exactly.
those guys where I don't care about numbers, I don't care about followers. I just do my thing and be Tweege Geddo and promote my stuff. And you know the greatest thing about my music is that I have my own record company. I
Nice.
produce my own stuff. I invest in my own music. I put my own stuff out. You know what I mean? I work with producers, and but
Hmm.
I own. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
own everything that I put out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't go with the crowd. You know what I mean?
Likewise, man.
So
Likewise.
so my last question for you, right?
Yeah.
What message you have for your fans and for the people that are watching now that are aspiring to be an actor or an actress, and for someone that is experiencing it now and going through it and seeing the ups and downs of what we say, the pros and the cons and all that,
Hmm.
what message would you leave for them to inspire them, even when they're going through the mud, as what you say?
Yeah. I would say that if the dream has been put in you, to believe and trust and have faith that everything you need to make that dream a reality can be executed because of the gifts and stuff that you have inside of yourself. So if the dream is yours and you without a doubt, you know, cross your heart, hope to die. Like if you can see it and it's been put into your mind, into your vessel, then everything you need to make that dream come true is already within you as well. Because that dream would have never came if you couldn't execute it. So go after it. It may be scary. It will be scary. Um, but go after it because it's something that you need to do because it was put in you in the first place.
Well said, my king. Well said, king. Well said. And I wish you nothing but the best, and you got my support. You know what I mean? And
Appreciate
anything that you want to be promoted or one of you, I see you coming out. I saw that you're coming out, a movie coming out where I'm really want to watch the day it drops, because I saw you're doing the promo for it, but I didn't know if I could promote it.
Yeah.
Where you're talking about people using the N word,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the
so
hard
I
R.
can,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
hard R. So I'm really excited for that when that one drop. I'm gonna promote the heck out of that one for you for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's
You know what I
love.
mean?
That one's
So
gonna be a
I
good one.
really,
I'm
because
excited.
what I didn't know if I should put it out, and maybe I might put it tomorrow so people can see the odd R.
Okay.
But it's the topics that you guys are talking about in the promo video. You know, how to use the N word, and should
Yeah,
they use it, and all that. And it always something here that I think about all the time, like, like, and then I hear and I see the movie that you're gonna come out with and coming. I was like, okay, I can't wait to watch this because it's very
yeah.
interesting. So definitely, people, to what, and let them know when that movie's coming out. So everyone that is watching right now, shout it out.
Yes. So the hard R, I have no idea when it's gonna come out, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even know. I think they're still editing it right now. I think they say if we need to do some reshoots on some stuff just to add a little bit more oomph to it. But so far, like I've seen a few playbacks when I was on set a couple months ago, and it's looking good. Like it's probably one of the best ones so far. So I'm excited when it does finally come out. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're just gonna have to stay tuned. You know, I'll post about it when it's ready to drop. But yeah, you're just gonna have to stay tuned, man.
All right, so shout out all your social media links and let them know where they can find you and come out and support you anytime you drop something.
Yes, yes,
Or,
yes. So you can find me on Instagram at I am_Ezekiel_JB. Twitter at Ezekiel_JB, or you go to my website EzekielJB.com, or you can just Google Ezekiel_JB, and then everything that you want to know about me will pop up.
yeah, there you hear it, ladies and gentlemen. My special guest today, Mr. Ezekiel, the upcoming superstar. And people, look out for him to do great things in the future. And make sure that you support the brother. Go look him up on always what he says and follow him. Show him support and love, because we need it. We all need it in this time. Thank you for coming on, King. And you have a friend here for life, a brother for life. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, man.
So you got my support, whatever you come out with. You know what I mean? And just know that when you make it, I'm here. So if you make it and you start your first movie that you're gonna direct, or the first script that you're coming out, remember to give Tweege Geddo a call out. I got a role for you, Tweege. Fly out to LA right now. I spend my own money to come get that role.
Oh man, that's funny.
Don't forget me, King. All right. Yeah.
All right, man, appreciate you.
Thank you. I heard someone said great interview.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, my boy Tunji. That's my boy
shout out.
Tunji. We went to high school together. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. And see you soon again.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Bless.